This is the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back into the High School Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. I'm Randy Rosetta. I'm now joined by Lubbock Cooper assistant coach Cory Lynch. I want to make sure I've got it. I want you to say it because I'll start calling you your son's name if I'm not careful. And I'm not going to try to say your name. I want to hear you say it first, and then I'll attempt it.
My name is Sione Vaea.
Hold it up close there. So,
Sione Vaea.
And tell me what your background is. You told me last year. Is it Momoan?
I'm Tongan, actually.
Tongan, okay.
Yes, sir.
I probably just irritated a whole country of people.
You're good.
My wife used to teach with somebody from Trinidad and Tobago, and by God, you better make sure you said they were from which one of the islands they were from, because they didn't like being from the other one. We are in the Pirate Fan Zone, and we're going to talk a little bit about last week. We won't talk too much. Now, you guys were on the defensive side, so you had to be out there a bunch. The way I described it in the story I wrote is that third quarter ended, and it's like both teams walked out to midfield and the bell rang. They just started taking haymakers at each other. Yeah. Cory, have you ever been in a game with 52 points in the fourth quarter?
I've been involved in some high-scoring affairs. We had a 90 to 70-something game with Baron Morton before.
When you were at Panhandle.
Yes, but it was a little more spread out than that as far as one quarter goes. No, I think that was probably it. And, coaching defense, it hurts a little bit when you give it those kind of points. But I thought our kids, we still competed, and you got to give those guys credit. They got hot at the right time and made a lot of plays.
And Sione, that's something that Coach said afterwards, that Coach Darden, that I thought was poignant, is he said we didn't give the game away. Memorial came and took it. They made plays like the play on the touchdown on the last play. Your defensive back's right there with him.
Sure,
he did everything right, and that Division I caliber young man just made a play. I know that doesn't make it easy to accept, but when you look back at video, you're like, yeah, we did a lot of good things, and they just happened to do a few more things better than us.
Yes, sir. They did come out.
Hold that up close, make sure folks can hear.
Second half, they did come out. We were just going haymakers for haymakers, but they did come out. We didn't give it to them. Just like you said, they just came out and played what they did. They did what they did.
And the thing about high school football in Texas is, as much as that stings, you get next week, this week, and there's still a lot in front of you. When I talked to Chip earlier this week, we get to this time of year, there's always scenarios for this and that. You guys, it's pretty simple. Just win.
Sure. Yeah, this week we really put a big focus on just focusing on us, fixing us and getting some things straight, and always go back to fundamentals and things like that, and just get ready to go put it out there on the line again against another good team.
Yep, there's not a letdown.
No,
your district, Friendship was just in here. We were talking about District 26A, where there's no weeks, and your district has gotten. Since you guys came back to Division II, your district is a lot thornier than it used to be.
Yes, for sure.
The team you played last week, Memorial, was really good. Everybody saw the schedule and saw that these 3 weeks were going to this is when things were going to kind of be hashed out.
Right.
And you guys, Memorial lost to Wylie on a last-second field goal, yes. I believe. You guys lost to Memorial on a last-second play. Right. So that, to me, that sort of means that now it's your turn to do something. Sione, what do you make sure you guys not do it on the last play, though? Take it easy on these coaches. Maybe take care of business a little bit sooner.
Yes, sir. Most definitely.
Cory, what have these guys been like this week? Something Chip told me the other day is that he was happy with the way their mental recovery was on day one.
Right. I mean, that's what they've done every week, and a lot of people don't. If you look at our schedule, you're going to see we've played football for this will be 12 straight weeks in a row without an off week or anything like that. And so, we've been at it a long time. And I talked to these guys, especially the D-line guys, they've done everything we've asked them to do. And Monday they did it again. They showed up and we went back to work and, like I said, just focusing on us and trying to get some things straight and ready to go again this week.
And Sione, you guys are playing another really good team this week, and this is absolutely not meant to disrespect the other teams in your district before Memorial and Abilene Wylie. But how much do these two games right here get you ready for the playoffs? You know you're in the playoffs. You know you're going to face good teams pretty quickly in the playoffs. Playing these two towards the end, how much does that kind of toughen your skin a little bit?
I feel like they're getting us ready. Most definitely. These are the last one of the best two teams that we've played all district, but they're definitely getting us ready for what's coming in playoffs.
And again, with all due respect to everybody, your first two games of the season were against really good teams. Because it was, remind me, it was
Lovejoy
and then Friendship right back to back, right? Or it was Coronado between.
Coronado in between there.
So and Coronado at that point was still
no doubt. But there's not been a week where we felt like it's just, hey, this is going to be a one where we can maybe relax. It's one of those every week it's a battle, and that just shows the great coaching that goes on around here and the great athletes that are in this area.
So to put the scenario in, I don't know how to say this. It's not on paper because we're on radio and TV. You guys, if you beat Abilene Wylie, you can clinch no worse than a tie for the district championship. And Chip said he thought that would get you a home playoff game.
Correct.
Now, some other stuff could happen around you where
Correct.
it could be even a better scenario. But again, you guys just have to take the Al Davis approach and just win, baby.
Right, and we can't control what anybody else does in the last week when we're on our off week and things like that. We're gonna try to take care of what we can do and let the rest of it fall where it does. But it's always a great feeling when you feel like you control your own destiny.
Sione, do you like having that in your hand where you kind of have the keys? You can kind of determine exactly how things finish. So you guys go into that week of rest, do you kind of know what the deal is for you guys?
Yes, sir. I feel like it gets us more ready than anything, just for what's coming up.
We'll talk more about the Pirates' road trip to Abilene Wylie. There's so many games this week, it was hard to figure out how to spread people around, but we're going to make sure we have somebody there to cover it. That's going to be right here on 100.7 The Score FM. Tommy Wood, I guess Chuck Darden will be there. It's hard to imagine Chuck Darden not being there. I don't know who their sideline people will be, but they always have somebody there to talk to you guys on the sideline. That's a big game, 100.7 The Score, Friday night, 7 p.m. at Sandifer Stadium. It's not Sandifer Memorial because Hugh is still he's still alive and kicking. So we'll be back after this break on the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Bringing you the latest news from Lubbock Cooper Athletics. This is the Pirate Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back to the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. We're going to talk about Lubbock Cooper's game at Abilene Wylie a little bit more detail. I'm going to run through the radio schedule again real quick. Thursday night, District 2 5A Division 1, huge game. Abilene High comes to town to take on Monterey. That's on 93.7 The Eagle. Kickoff, it's at 7 p.m. I believe pregame's at 6:30 with David Thetford. No, it's not David Thetford. It's Clint Scott. And I think it's Mr. Bro with him on the color because the other guys are on TV. Friday night, Friendship goes down to Permian on Double T 97.3 FM. Kickoff at 7, pregame at 6:30. The Pirates go to Abilene Wylie. That'll be right here on 100.7 The Score. Tommy Wood, Chuck Darden, and a cast of thousands down there calling this game. Estacado and Liberty, they play in District 2 4A Division 2 at Patriot Stadium. 93.1 Yes FM, and Slayton at Idalou, sunny 97.7 FM. I think Clint Scott's on that call as well. Have you guys been to Baby Brothers football stadium and seen what they've put in place for them over at Liberty?
Well, that's a great stadium they've put together over there. It's really nice.
It's incredible. Your school district knows how to build stuff and build it well, and they've taken care of you guys. Everything. Absolutely. They've upgraded stuff, and you guys. Your football program has it's the house that Max and Chip and and all you other coaches and these players kind of helped build. Last week stung. I remember I heard eavesdropped on Chip's post game, and he talked about it's supposed to hurt. Mm-hmm. You don't play football and expect to be good in a game like that, not hurt. But Sione, how do you make that hurt do something good this week? How have you guys kind of processed that to kind of let that burn in your belly and make sure it's something that you make good this week?
We just took that. We ended up taking the L. From that game, we found out what we needed to do and what we needed to improve on. So we took that and we're adding it this week, and it actually helped when everybody ended up coming on Monday with a clear mind and still not sobbing over the loss. So,
and to be clear, Wichita Falls Memorial made plays. That's a great offense, but you guys are a really good defense.
Yes, sir.
I've got the stats up in front of me. You don't. Lubbock Christian and Trinity Christian actually give up fewer yards, but that they play at a different level. And you guys, among the public schools, you lead the city in defensive yards allowed. And the stats when I got them, you and Cole Stanzioni didn't leave many tackles for anybody else. I take that back. Kel Kirk I believe, had double digits too. There were a lot of tackles to be made. And man, you guys piled up some numbers, and you have all season. You guys are pretty stout at all three levels on that defense.
Yes, sir.
How much difference does that make for you guys up front to know that Cole's behind you, that secondary's behind you, able to make plays if somebody gets past you?
It just helps having trust in the guys back there. Just knowing that they can make plays, and knowing that they can cover, and knowing that the run game is stopped. That all helps us during the game. Yeah. Well,
I'm looking at the stats right here. You're the city's leader in tackles sacks and tackles for losses combined. You've got 12 of them. So you know how to get back in the backfield and wreak havoc.
Yes, sir. I think it all helps with what our coaches call. But, yeah.
So when you got here and you met Cole in particular and you saw him play, because one of my favorite things is when I'm in a press box before a game, they look down and they see a little number 5. And they're like, that kid's a starter? Yeah, just wait a minute and you'll see. And I think it was the game against Tascosa. A couple of the coaches were there scouting early, and he just blew somebody up. And one of the coaches goes, "Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, number 5's a good player."
Yes, sir.
You're a pretty well built young man. Cole's a little smaller.
Yeah.
But it kind of proves. Cory, you've been around West Texas football a long time. Sometimes it's not the size of the
for sure
dog in the hunt.
Don't want to be judging guys the way they look around here. I've been fooled a bunch of times.
Because Cole he's not Kobe McKenzie. He's not, no. But he's if to borrow a coach's cliche, if you measure a kid's heart, that kid brings it, and so does this young man. You guys have some guys who typify Lubbock Cooper football as well as anybody since I've started my website 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's guys like it's just fun to go to work every day with kids like this that are going to work hard and do everything that's asked of them. We may not always get exactly what we want, but the work ethic is second to none.
You're just a junior, so you have another year to kind of fine tune things. But how cool has it been to be a part of this program since you moved here from California?
It's really cool. It's been a great experience with all the coaches and the relationships I've made with my teammates, and the brotherhood is just different than anywhere I've been.
And we'll be back to talk more Lubbock Cooper football after this break on the Pirate Fan Zone.
Breaking down Lubbock Cooper sports. This is the Pirate Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back to one more segment of the Pirate Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score. We are with Cory Lynch, defensive line coach, official title. Hey, Chip always gives you guys like 3 titles. He's heaping a lot on your plate, but that's what a good head coach does. And he learned from a really good head coach who always tease him. Do you guys talk football at Thanksgiving dinner, or if Chuck's there, they probably swing it over to basketball a little bit. Right. Sione Vaea. Did I get it right? Vaea.
Vaea, yes,
I almost had it. I got the first part right.
Yes, sir.
So you're going up to down to Abilene Wylie. Cory, what are some keys for you guys against them? Because they're a different kind of offense than you saw this last week, but they're a good offense.
Yeah, for sure, and they've done a good job down there for a long time. But they're real multiple on offense. They do a lot of different things. They'll get into even a old school single wing short yardage formation now and then, but they'll also spread it out and sling it around. So you're going to have to be ready for a lot of different things. Good quarterback, good receivers, and I think of one of the bigger offensive lines that we've faced this year.
Which you have a couple of guys up front to compete with that. So the quarterback, I believe, is the offensive coordinator's son. Am I right about that?
I'm not 100% sure.
So you had a son who played football, so you know that means that the player's IQ is supposed to be a little bit higher.
Right.
Dad has supposedly been working with him, so
they've been around it a lot anyway.
And if he's a quarterback, that means they're putting some faith in him. Sione, you heard him talk about they get into a single wing and try to run it. Kind of licking your chops at the thought of a team trying to run the ball against you guys?
Yes, sir. I don't think any team has had any good runs against us personally, but if they want to run it, they can run it. But
Memorial found some success throwing the ball. What do you guys have to do better if they come out and start throwing it on Friday night?
To be honest, for the D-line, we need to get more pass rush just to get back there and give our guys just some clarification just so they don't got to worry as much and cover as long as they have been.
And again, to be fair, Memorial's quarterback was pretty good. He was a little bit different than you guys. Was he like 6'6"?
Yes, sir. I think he was 6'7".
Yeah, and he had some long strides, but he was also elusive for being that. He extended plays long enough to let guys to get open. How do you, don't give any secrets away, but how can you increase pressure without having to change things too much against the quarterback that's having some success like that?
Just honestly just working our pass rush lanes. If everybody works their pass rush lanes, then I'm pretty sure we can keep them in pocket and end up getting a sack.
And you guys focus on the defensive side, obviously, but your offense, there were two teams throwing haymakers out there on offense the other night, and I don't know if that's as well as Ryan has played, but it's got to be in the conversation because he was sharp, and for whatever reason, Memorial decided Michael Deaver didn't need to be double covered. Right. I imagine that the offensive coaches for you guys would be all for that if that's the case against Abilene Wylie. When you've watched Ryan, I'm assuming you've been around Ryan for a while, how his progression game by game, day by day, how big is that for you guys as a football team?
I think he's grown a lot this year just on the mental side of it. You know, he's never going to be a rah-rah, right, kind of leader and things like that. But the way he's led that offense this year with his just consistent play, I think has really, taken those guys to another level.
I can actually get Ryan to talk and smile now a little bit more. Last year, I think I terrified him, but right. I think I've gotten, maybe it was baseball season where he kind of got a little bit looser. Did you guys have weapons on that side of the ball? Losing Jackson Austin was a blow for your team on offense, and he may have helped out on defense. Who knows?
Right.
What have you seen about your team that they've kind of rallied now the last 6-7 weeks to kind of, you don't replace a Jackson Austin, but you find ways to do things that he could do? It can be a coaching cliche to say next man up, but we've really truly had some guys do that.
Deuce Johnson has come on and has filled that role, and he's even gotten where he's catching the ball out of the backfield as well, like Jackson was doing, and so he's done a great job there. But like you said, there's so many weapons across the board. It's kind of a pick your poison for a lot of people. You're going to double Mike, well, that's going to leave some other guys in one-on-one situations that we've been winning, and Ryan has the trust in those guys to spread the ball around to them. It'd be easy if I was playing quarterback, I might just throw that thing up to Mike all the time, but within their offense, those guys are tough. I would hate to try to be defending our offense on a regular basis in a game for sure.
And you said you coach Shemaine JV basketball, and I guess Cade a little bit too from basketball, because those guys have, I don't know if you say two guys have taken one guy's place, but they've done a lot of the things that Jackson was kind of in line to do.
For sure, yeah. Like I said, there's just been a lot of guys, changing their roles, and maybe even other guys, their role may become less or whatever. But the way our guys just, whatever we got to do and team first is, that's what I love the most about them.
We'll be back after the break with the Patriot Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.